Hello again, Year 4. Mr. Dyes again, as ever. Um, just to say, last week's work was absolutely amazing. I thought it was quite difficult, and you managed absolutely brilliantly. And you did that because you listened and you took your time and you learnt. So I'm so pleased with that. Now, this week's work is going to be slightly different. We're still going to keep those lines that stay the same distance apart, not getting any wider or getting any narrower, but stay the same distance apart. Those lines, like the lines on the trees last week, are known as parallel lines. Now, the artist we're going to have a look at this week is an artist called Hundertwasser, a very, very joyful artist, and he enjoyed nature and colour and beauty. And this week we're going to have a go at doing what's called a landscape, a picture of the land and the sky and all of the things that we find on that land. Now, it's going to be very different from last week's, which was quite rigid and straight up and down. When we look at Hundertwasser's work, we can see that his work is going to be beautifully curved and swooping with lots and lots of repeated pattern. So I'm going to show you how to recreate an image that he's made of a landscape. This is just an example of Hundertwasser's work. We're not actually going to copy this piece. I'll show you what we're going to copy later on. But I'm just going to show you some of the things that keep reoccurring, that keep happening in his pictures. The first thing you notice is the colour. So we've got beautiful bright colours here and also some darkness. So bright primary colours, the blues and the yellows and the greens and the reds, beautiful colours. We've also got these, do you remember these lines? So we've got lots of parallel lines, vertical and horizontal. We've got these shapes, the spiral shapes, which he's very, very happy using. Lots and lots of those occur. Faces, a lot of his work has faces of people within them, sort of hidden. Trees, always trees, and houses, nearly always houses in his pictures. So we've got the colours, we've got the lines that go together, we've got the houses, the pictures of people and the trees. So all of those things are usually incorporated, you'll find, within his work. If you've ever gone up to the library stairs and you've gone up to the library at school, you would have seen some of his work on the wall there. It's a picture of two men in a rowing boat with the beautiful colours as the boat floats through the water. So I'm going to show you now the image that we're going to copy this afternoon. It's going to be slightly different because instead of we're working on paper that's rectangle, we're going to make our image within a circle, and I'll show you how we're going to go about doing that. So we're going to have a go now at copying that Hundertwasser landscape, and we should have a piece of paper that's got a circle printed on it, so that will help us keep our work within that space. Now there's one or two things that are really important within that picture that we put in the right places. So what we're going to do is we're going to set out those main things first of all, and then the rest of it will come really, really easily. So if you can remember, there's a sort of a building, a strange building, a bit like a lighthouse. It's got like an onion on top of something. I always call it the onion building. And I'm going to get about halfway across my circle from top to bottom, and quite a way across to the side, not in the middle, at least halfway across. I'm going to put a dot there. And that dot's going to be the top of my onion building. And it's going to come down and then bulge out. And then the other side's going to come down and bulge out. And then we've got one, two, I think are the sort of the skins of the onion. So on your piece of paper you'll have, we did the dot, we did it coming down and then it bulges out, down the other side bulges out, and then we've got the skin of the onion there, or the inside of the onion, however you'd like to look at it. Now down here is going to be where one of the hills are, because on the landscape it shows us that there's sort of rolling hills. So I'm just going to cut that little corner off there, that bit there, and then that's going to come down to join the top there, and then we've just got to do what I call sort of like the lighthouse effect. So I'll just turn that round so you can see more clearly. So we had the onion shape, then I did the line that came down next, and this is a hill that's coming down, and then we've got the 1, 2, 3, or however many you can fit in there. Now the next important thing, and that's about on the same level but right across the other side of the paper, we're just going to do 1, 2, 3 zigzags, and those zigzags are going to come down, 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 and they're going to form the houses. And we'll put the detail in the houses later, but they look a bit like beach huts, don't they? So 1, 2, 3 zigzags, then we did the sides of the house, and then we've done the bottom bit, so that fits in like so. Now this is an important line, because this is the line that is what we call the horizon. It's the line that separates the land from the sky. So I'm going to come above my beach huts, or houses as they are, and it's going to arch up slightly and curve down, and it's going to go round. I'm going to stop there because you won't be able to see that, because this is in front of that hill, and then I'm going to take it on from the other side and go around to where the end of the circle is, or the side of the circle. So just above the beach huts, this is going to be the horizon. So this is sky is going to be on top, land below. This line comes round, it goes behind the onion, I'm going to call it, and then stretches on round to the edge of the circle. And now the last difficult thing I've got to do, this is going to be the sun and the sunshine. So that takes up most of the sky. It's got a beautiful curve that comes round. So in fact I'm making almost like a sail here, aren't I, by coming around to here, and then I'm going to follow that line around as if it's a circle, and it comes around here, but then it creates a little tail like so. So I came from this edge of the circle, I came round down to meet the land. It's disappearing a little bit under the land there, then coming back round, creating that shape. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you've done that, then you can see now that it's going to be, all the other bits are going to just fit in brilliantly. Now the other thing I need to do is to put some trees in, and I always think Hundertwasser does what I call lollipop trees. So I'm going to fit that in like so, and I think I'm going to put 5 trees, I think they were, and I'll put another one there. So those are the trees that I've got. So I've got the buildings and the sun. This is a hill that swoops on down. And now I'm going to start putting in some of those lines I was talking about, which are the lines that don't get closer or further apart. So I'm just going to follow that line around. Now, don't worry too much about that if it's not exact. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to be exact. But what you can do is to follow that line so you get the same sort of curve as you go around. So that's that one. The sun, I'll try and do that upside down for you. The sun is going to have a little circle in the middle. Then all I'm going to do is to draw bigger circles around it. So I'm just going to come out, I'm going to space that out so I've got hopefully about the same amount. And so I'm beginning to build that up now. I should manage to fit another whole one of those in. But at some stage it's going to disappear off of the picture. I might be able to fit another 2 in here. One more is going to come here, and I'm going to take that line through there. So that's giving me the sunshine. I've got my sky now, which are these parts here. Sunshine, the sky, the houses, or beach huts as I call them. They've got a little triangular window in, a couple of them, so I'm going to put a little triangle. They've got doors. You can put however you want to go in through there, like so. And then those will be coloured at some stage, hopefully. Now, what I'm going to do before I put the trees, and I'm going to put the trunk of the trees in, I'm just going to take a line that comes from the top of the house, and it's going to follow this line that will go down through here and come in to join here. And then I'm going to follow those lines down. So I'm just going to take a little space because this is going to show me the way that the land is running. Now when I get to here, I don't want to draw the line through the tree because I wouldn't see that because the tree's in front of it. So I'm going to leave those lines out. I'm going to get another line now that's going to bend around to come through here. As you see, when I come to a tree, I'm going to stop. I might just be able to skirt that one around like so. Round, and a little one there. So we've got to this stage now, and you can see it's beginning to fill up, isn't it? So I'm going to put the trunks down now, and the trunk is going to come down to where that line is, and the trunks come down like so. So I've taken the trunks down to the line here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of shading in, or lines that go across. And now I'm going to do the same as I did with the sun, and I'm going to create his lollipop trees. This is quite fun. So around you go. Some trees are bigger than others, so you get more of the lollipop shapes into them. And then, because it was raining, I might fit another, I think that line might do with another one there. So you can see the movement that's coming with those lines now as well. This is the hill that's in front, this is the hill that's behind, this is the sky, and this part's the sun. Now, I'm going to let you have a go at putting in some of these little raindrops, because in his painting, although the sun's shining, there's little teardrops or raindrops that are falling. And I'm going to put these in where I can find spaces so they're not going over any of the lines that I've already drawn. So they're nice little shapes. I might put some in here. I might have a space for one or two. And then how far do they come down? Maybe I'll put some down here. It's totally up to you, however you want to put them in. So now we've got to that stage, you might want to put some more detail into the houses. You might want to put another window in and a door. It's totally up to you, but I would keep it as fairly simple as possible. And then when I meet you in the Zoom call, I'll show you how we can take this on to make it more Hundevasser-like. So remember, we started off with the onion, we then went down to give this first hill, then we were able to do that bit. We then did the houses in a row, and it was this horizon came next, then the sunshine, and then we filled in all of the bits and pieces. Oh, I forgot the trees as well, didn't I? So the trees weren't there. So there's a couple of ways we can finish this off, but I'll speak to you about that when I see you in the Zoom. It'd be good while you're doing this to have that image of Hundevasser's work up on the board so you can really see what you're doing. Okay, see you soon.